digital arts with the lights. It's so fun putting it all together. And I started doing that when I was very young. I was in grade 3 at the time, I think. How old are you in grade 3? 9, 10 years old or 8? 8, 9, 9. And so when I was that age, they were just starting up a new club. Do you guys have like clubs in your schools? Yeah, they still do that kind of thing. And they were starting up the dance pack. So for all the kind of school events, I would go on out and I would dance with, there were only about maybe like 8 of us. And I was the only boy. And I don't know about now, but back then, like dancing was like, oh no, you can't do that. You're a guy, that's a girl thing, right? Who here has ever heard that? Like, oh, dancing's for girls, you don't do that. Okay, that's still a thing? Come on, guys. But I'm happy that it's only a few because yeah, that was a big thing. And similar to Haley, remember just now she said that she was in a position where she felt that she didn't belong, but it was something she so wanted to do? Aren't you guys happy that she made that tough choice and had courage and did so? She's amazing. I really want to be a drummer now. And so I was in that position, and you know what? It was hard. And it set me up for a lot of grief. And probably for the next couple of years, I really underwent a lot of hardship. But throughout those years, I kept going. I had such a passion for performing and singing, and I just loved it so much that as time went on, some really cool opportunities came up. And I really had to work hard at it. So I was doing voice lessons, and I was doing acting lessons downtown, and I was learning dance on weekends, and then I eventually went to a performing arts high school, so I commuted from Oakville to Etobicoke every day, and eventually I got to do some amazing things, growing up doing commercials and TV shows and movies. I'm not sure if anyone still watches it. Did anyone growing up watch a show called Life with Boys on YTV? Yeah? So, you would have watched me. I was Gabe Foster, the older brother on Life with Boys. And I know I didn't used to have a beard, and my hair used to be down like this, but I had a lot of fun. And what that did for me was, we did a couple seasons of that. Right after I graduated high school, I decided, you know what, I want to share my passion. I want to give other students just like you the same things that I got, but in an even better way than I had growing up. So similar to Haley, starting her own drumming business and company to help share the love of music through drumming. What I did was I started a company called Innovative Arts, and we produce musicals and take risks here. Everyone, Anthony McLean!
Yeah! Amazing. My name's Anthony. I've never spoken at any of your schools. I don't know any of you. But you still look friendly, and it's great to be here. Well, I'll tell you what. I am a speaker. I love going into schools, and I go across the country, and it's awesome. I love speaking to places like this, though, because when I look out, there's so much diversity. And I love that because sometimes when I'm traveling, I'll have to speak at a school like in a small town in another province where there's no diversity. Like some of the towns I go to, I don't know how to say it, but like there's no black people. There's no black people at all. There's black people on TV if you watch the right show, but that's the only black people you'll see. And so, don't get me wrong, they're friendly. Everyone's friendly. I always get a lot of love. They're beautiful people. It's just that they're not very diverse. So I remember I was in this one small town recently, and I was doing some shopping. I was just picking up some food, and this kid runs up. He's so young, he's 6 years old, runs up to me. He goes, "Oh, you're a black guy." Yo, fam, it's like he saw Santa Claus. He was like, "They're real." It's like I was a unicorn. I never felt so special in my life. He said, "You're real, you're a black guy." He was a sweet kid, man. He wasn't, he didn't know. He was like, I thought that was only in, TV shows. The Tooth Fairy. And so now I wanted him to know that actually, I told him, you know what? I didn't get offended. Some people get offended. He was just being honest. He had never, and I said, hey, you know what? The truth is, my father is black, but my mom is white. So do you know what that makes me? And he said, confused? I said, yes, for many years I was very confused. I'm working it out now. Anyway, so I love it because when I come to a place like this, I see such diversity and it's amazing. You know, every time I go and I speak at a school, I'm always so excited because I never know what students I'm going to meet. I never know what's going to happen.
Detention? I think detention. Maybe I'll write a note in their agenda and send it to them. Now, it might be Hubba Bubba. It might be Bubblicious. I don't know.
Sit down, okay? Look, if no one's being hurt, don't worry about it. But if you know someone's being hurt, it's the right thing to do to tell an adult. Everyone say interrupt. Interrupt. Everyone say support. Everyone say tell an adult. Now look, I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back to that school, man, where I first saw the oh, that's not supposed to come up there now. Okay. I wish I could go back to that school where I first saw that garbage on the floor. Because if I could go back to that school, man, I would want to find out who it was that was eating lunch by himself. And I want to tell them what I'm about to tell you. I want to tell them, hey, we're all different. I got made fun of for the color of my skin. I know people get made fun of for their weight, for their height, for their race, for the fact that they speak with an accent. I know people that get made fun of for a lot of different reasons, but let me tell you something. And this is where this does come in. I met a girl at one of these presentations. She came up to me after my talk. She said, Anthony, thank you for your presentation. And I recognized right away she has a stutter. And I knew that because I have a good friend. We work out together. This guy, but he's like, man, he's jacked. Like his muscles have muscle. Like his bicep has a bicep on top of the bicep, okay? This guy, he's D's. He's just like 12 pack. He's just, and you know what? He speaks with a stutter. And hey man, we all have something. And this girl came up to, she had a stutter. And she said, people laugh at me because the way that I talk. She said, I hate it. I wish I could change. I wish I didn't stutter. I said, hey, guess what? I told her everyone stutters. She said, what do you mean? I said, we all have something we wish we could change. We all have something we might get teased about. For some of us, we come from a weird family that's just like, for some of us, our clothes aren't as cool as we wish they were. Come on out, Susie.
Hey guys. Hey babe. Well guys, I am so excited to be here today. As my husband told you guys, I have this new song coming out. It's called She's Unstoppable. And we did this music video this year with an entire crew of women, incredible women. And basically the song is about having courage the courage to go after a dream, no matter what. And just a little about me, a couple years ago, I decided to really step out. About 10 years ago, I decided to step out into the acting area. And I had a good friend of mine, she was an amazing friend that really encouraged me to step out. She saw talent in me, she said, Susie, now, time to sit in the back row, it's time to stand out. Ain't betting on a hero, she's doing it herself. It's your time, baby, let's go, come out of your shell. She's got that spark in her eye, that look that you can't deny. Oh, 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 oh. And when she walks in the room, she'll take the breath out of you. Oh, 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 oh. She's unstoppable.
All right, this side of the room, make some noise. Okay, in the middle, make some noise.
This girl's born to shine. She's got the spark in her eye. That look that you can't deny. Oh, 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 oh. And when she walks in the room, she'll take the breath out of you. Oh, oh, oh. She's unstoppable.
Wave your hands like this, alright? If you know that you are unstoppable, you can take risks, you can step back.
She's unstoppable.
Anything is possible if you believe it, alright? You gotta believe in yourself, step out, have some courage, and go after your
She's
dreams.
unstoppable. Knock her down, she's getting up. Knock her down, she's getting up.
When you fall down, get back up.
Knock her down, she's getting up.
I'm telling you, failure is temporary.
Knock her down, she's getting up. She's got that spark
Everyone wave your hands like this, alright?
that you can't deny. Oh,
I'm telling you, go for your dreams.
and when she walks in the room, she'll take the breath out of you.
I love it.
She's unstoppable. Guys, go after whatever it is you have in your heart. Never.
He's got it. He's got it. Right arm, left elbow. Let's give it up for Mark, ladies and gentlemen. Mark's going to work on to step number 2. Step number 2, and this is actually the step where Houdini knocked the screen over. This is what the audience has got to see that made it so compelling. Step
Great, man.
High five?
Welcome.
Yes! Woo! Yes!
All right, Vince is just absolutely an inspiration for me. Coming from a sports background, and I did a lot of sports growing up as well as the arts, and his story is so incredible, and he's someone who you can really, like, the minute you meet him today, you're just like, I just want to hug you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was great. I feel better. I just feel great now. Awesome. Oh, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Give a round of applause, guys!
Okay, did everyone notice that I was giving high fives down the row here? Everyone notice that? Okay, I want to teach you why I love high fives so much. I want everyone to put up your right hand. Okay, put up your right hand. Now put a serious look on your face. Put a serious look on your face, alright? Try it out. Okay? Now high five the person next to you and try not to smile. Right. It's physically impossible. That's right. Love it. Okay. Alright. It is physically impossible not to smile while high-fiving someone. Okay, so here we go. Sorry, the remote's not working here. Okay, everybody coming back? Everybody coming back? We're coming back? Okay, awesome. So I just gotta make sure this clicker is working here. Okay, so why I'm here, we're gonna talk about anti-bullying. Right? We're talking about anti-bullying. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm not for anti-bullying. I'm not for anti-bullying, and I'll tell you why. When you go into McDonald's, do you ask for what you don't want? No, what do? You ask for what you want, right? Because if I just walked in and looked at the menu and started rhyming off things that I didn't want, how long would it take to get my order? It would take a long time. So I'm not anti-bullying, but I am. It's not gonna work. That's okay. I'm pro-love.
Don't fix it! The on button!
Perfect, thank you very much. It works out, it works out. There we go. There we go. So, I am pro-love. Okay, so something you need to know about me. So my background, I played sports my entire life. I played all the way through university. I ended up coaching in the CFL with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And then I went down to coach in the NCAA with Ohio University. Okay, so I really bought into being an athlete, being a coach, the tough guy. Okay, but what happened was, after I finished my career, I got hired at Lululemon, of all places. Everybody know Lululemon? Yeah, great place. Yeah, absolutely. And so, when I got hired at Lululemon, my manager sat me down, she looked me in the eyes, she brought me to this coffee shop, she looked me in the eyes, and she said, "Vince, who are you?" I said, "I'm a football coach." And she said, "No, Vince, that's just what you do. Who are you?" And in that moment, I broke down in tears in the middle of this coffee shop because I had no idea who I was beyond what I was. But what I learned was, we rely on what we are to access love. That's it. It's as simple as that. So what I'm going to teach you guys today, oh yeah, so I'm going to throw this up here. So, I just told you about what I am. This is who I am. And I thought that this might be appealing to you. So this is me wearing a banana suit to a yoga class, and then realizing that it was not a costume party. Okay? So, LOL. So, LOL to a lot of us is laugh out loud, right? To me, it's the logic of love. And I'm gonna tell you the answer to everything is unconditional love. Okay? So why bullies bully is because they just want to be loved, and that's the only way they know how to get love and validation. Okay? So I'm going to tell you a story.
We're singing and performing all year long, and we have one big rule here, and that's respect. Let me hear you say that. So that means we're going to respect our facility, right? We're going to clean up, and we're going to respect our classmates throughout lunch. Now what that means is everyone's going to stay seated. Please wait until you're directed by one of these Kids for Kids staff members to take you to your lunch. Teachers, please make sure you are back here in your seats by noon, by 12 o'clock sharp, because you don't want to miss a minute of this performance. Thank you guys very much. Have a great 30-minute lunch. For our next act, when they started learning music, they were your age, when they started getting together, and now they tour the world doing what they love. Please welcome to the stage. Oh, wait, I actually have a very important rule here. Because of the level of excitement and fun that this group has, I have to warn you, we have one rule. You cannot leave your seat area. So, that means we're not all going to come into the aisles or come down to the front. But that being said, I encourage you, I'm going to come down there with you. We're going to dance, we're going to party. So everyone get up on your feet and welcome Penn State.
How you guys doing? Hey guys, we're the Penske File. Let's have some fun.
I gotta say, this is probably one of the coolest shows we've ever had the opportunity to play. My name's James, this is Travis, and this is Alex. We might not be brothers by blood, but we are brothers for sure. We played the most shows this year that we've ever got the opportunity to play. And as you said earlier, we did start when we were your age. We realized that music can be some of the funnest times, but it can get you through some of the hardest times. And I think that after what everyone has said today, it takes a lot of courage to stand up in front of this many people, and I'm kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most people we've ever played in front of. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of today. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your day. Now, at a young age, way younger than you guys are, we're told to be kind to one another. And it's kind of funny, you maybe forget how important that is. But it's the kindness that you give to others